Hey, today I wanted to take a look at a track off my most recent EP called Titan. The track we're going to look at today is called Goodbye For Now. It's at the end of the EP and it's sort of a spacey, ambient finale to the EP. So let's dive in and have a look. So here's the project. What I'll do is we'll have a playthrough and then we'll go one by one breaking it down just like last time. So here it is. So that is the track Goodbye For Now. So let's jump in. As always, I use the notes quite a lot for the projects. I chose a key I was unfamiliar with, usually gravitate to major keys to begin with, let alone D flat major. The goal for the EP was this sort of Blade Runner-esque ambient exploration, as a lot of sci-fi stuff is when I'm making it. This began with elementary sounds. I basically just got a chord progression. This is Tana. I love these plugins. Both this and the Raker have been my favourites. I think I could do a video on these entirely, and I probably will. So I think there's a lot of texture in there. That's what it is usually, and then we introduce some of this reverse effect and yarn effect with this X slider. And then there is another one. So this one's adding chorus, so it normally sounds like this. And then I believe I've added a lot of chorus. And I wanted these to be pads, so there's a lot of attack and a lot of release. And that is those two together, and that is where I had the chord progression. That's what came to me first when playing around with D flat major, so I made note of it here, and I thought that should just be throughout the whole piece. So I also, at the time of making this track, bought a Spitfire bundle that came with Polaris, which we'll get to. It also came with Swarm Percussion, which it was like a bonus. I didn't go out of my way to get Swarm Percussion. They have these warps which sound very nice, so we added that. Just copying the progression, except the suspended chords in the previous pads are now just fifths. So this one plays full chord, and then the next one will be a fifth again. I just didn't want to stack them too much, and I thought it sounded interesting. So I'll play that with both the pads. To me, when making a track, texture is one of the most important things, and I think this adds a lot of texture. And so does CDT's Rain. So this is Contemporary Drama Toolkit, I think that's it. I'm adding a little radiator on there to make it a bit more noisy and basic EQ. So everything that I consider texture feel like a floaty ambient exploration. That's definitely what I was after. We also have the bass Tanya. The trailer for this, the low end is unbelievable, and I wanted to try and get something similar. So this is just adding some extra low end in from bar 17 onwards, and then as you can see, the other components really are Reika will be playing our melody with the piano. However, first all the atmospheric pieces come from Spitfire Polaris. So let's have a listen to some of these. What these are strings that have been manipulated. The strings are emulating synth sounds, classic synth sounds. It's a very fun library. And then we've got this lung underneath. Same again, so these are the actual strings rather than processed. And then I'll play that with our pads. So then they cut out because I wanted to make space for the melody that comes in from bar 17. Before we get to that, I also have a sub recorded on the Korg Prologue. And that comes in this section along with the bass from Elementary Sounds. And then we get to the melody. And this is on Elementary Sounds again, Reika. It sounds like this. So a lot of space in there. As you can see, we've got Soundtoy's little plate and then Shimmer on there. And that's going to a bus with Echo Boy and Valhalla Room. So a lot. I'm pretty sure Echo Boy is the Space Echo, yeah. The melody came from, funnily enough, Andrew Huang's Book of Chances cards. They look like this. Basically, I just shuffle them up and draw 4, and whatever 4 came, I don't know if we'll be able to see clearly, but in the top left we've got basically saying minor, major, and then 4th or 5th. I took those Roman numerals and just decided, right, okay, I may have drawn like a 3, 5, 6, 3, and then I would play around with that until I had something that sounded interesting. Broke it up into little sections, as you can see from the recording. I may have even done this section. And then the next one. But yeah, the melody came completely, not randomly, but those cards definitely made me try different things that I wouldn't usually do. I was having a lot of writer's block when making this, so they really helped. And I also have, I believe the piano is copying the melody. And there we got little plate on the piano as well. So that's how they came about. Then from bar 33, I introduced a lot more atmospheric items from Polaris. So you have this hollow mellotron. It's got supermassive on. And then if there's a CS80 patch, you know we have to try it. However, this one, I remember having specific issues with it. It just stuck out a bit too much, that's why it's so low. But I did like the buzz that it added. And then we have this plus good, which is a granular patch. Then again, from the intro, we've got our long strings. And then my favourite effect, shepherd tone. Shepherd tones are constantly rising effects. I think this just adds a lot of atmosphere. And I've straight up copied what the strings are doing. And I think it is subtle here. And then on our next section, we have just a straight shepherd tone. But here's everything together with the sub as well. And then we move on finally to the ending section. We drop out a lot of the Polaris atmospheric items, bring back this patch from the beginning, playing the same notes, again with the strings, so the strings continue and carry that through, and then the shepherd tone. Quite low in volume, just to be subtle with it. And we have our melody continuing on Reika. We have any automation? We don't. In hindsight, looking back at it now, Reika's got this amazing X slider just like the Tina does. That adds a lot. I may have done that if I was working on it still. That's why we've got deadlines. What I do like about these instruments is you can hear the key noise and you've got full control of it as well. Whether you want more noise, more key noise. Yeah, very fun instruments. It looks like we have some strings that I thought about adding and didn't, so we should check them out. These are Oliver Arnold's Chamber Evolutions. They sound nice, but I just don't think they're needed still. So I agree with myself. But then we've got some vibratos as well. Yeah, I'm happy that I kept them out. I'll often do that, come up with an idea and sort of just mute them, keep them to one side, because it's better to come back to it the next day or some fresh ears. The only other thing I can see is this MIDI information, which is just what I send and save in case I want to edit it again, but that's basically what I send to the Korg Prologue. So that's my sub right there. I think that's everything on the track. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of this. Thanks for checking out the video.